Good morning, Sin City, and welcome to another episode of the Las Vegas Social Media Show. This is going to be a kind of a different type of show, more of a business-focused segment, and I have two very special guests. I have Marcus Offutt, founder of Business Growth and Development Services, and Mr. Blueprint, Richard Krawczyk, here on the show today. Both consult with businesses, and today's topic we are going to discuss removing the ego in business. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to be here.
Very much. And questions for both of you. You guys both work with businesses as a third party, rather. Someone that's unemotionally attached to the business. You come in and it is what it is, and your job is to make the best possible decision for businesses. Can you guys take me through your process or what exactly you do when you first start working with a business?
Well, I mean, obviously, you always want to come into a business setting with a professional outlook and always keeping the business, the business's best interest in mind. Ego for me, everyone has an ego. Everybody, thinks of theirself a little bit higher than what they may look or portray. So the key there, I just look at it as this is simply about a business. It's about using tools to, promote this brand or this service or product or what have you. It's not about the people. And that allows me to not necessarily be attached to those people, even though I do have a relationship with them. I just keep everything very, business-like and professional and make sure that, my own personal feelings and their own personal feelings don't influence what's best in terms of business practices.
Richard, how about you?
Yeah. Here's a perfect example. A guy is having a verbal spat with his girlfriend, and it gets all heated and everything like that. In that particular instance, all the emotions are running high, and you can't think logically about anything. You can't make any logical decisions about anything. Now, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you have to have an ego. If you don't have an ego, you are going to die in business. Mm-hmm. But whenever I say but, it's always a big but for whatever reason. But there's liposuction for that.
But you don't lie.
No, exactly.
Right.
No. But it's good to have an ego because you need that to be able to get the energy to kind of move forward for your business. But at the same time, sometimes an ego can hurt your business because you're not thinking logically, because you're emotionally involved, like that one argument, that verbal spat that you were in, as I gave you the example earlier. So it's really easy to have a third party like myself or for Marcus to come in, step in with an extra set of third eyes that have no emotional attachment to your business and lay it out. I'm not there to be somebody's best friend. I'm there to help you get the results that you want. Your ego may put up and say, well, I think I know better. Well, great. Continue to be poor. When you're ready to change and have an open mind, let me know. And I'd love to help you, but recognition is the first step to recovery. Mm-hmm. If you can't recognize yourself that things aren't going well, you want to go to the next level. You know you need help, but your ego is stopping you. You're going to be stuck there in a rut for as long as it is.
And excuse me, but when we talk about ego, we're not even talking about having your name and face everywhere. It can just be behind the decisions themselves, like the business owner thinking, this is the way I want to do it. This is how I want to do it.
And ego might be a strong word. Maybe pride would be a little bit more accurate. Because even in my infancy of business and whatnot, I didn't listen to people who were telling me things that I knew were logically the right thing to do. But my pride was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I know what you're telling me, but I'm going to figure this out.
Right.
So being able to work with businesses, with the absence of emotion, it allows you to think logically. It allows you to think clearer, more critically. And it allows ideas and just the communication to flow a lot better if you don't have, something hanging over you like an emotion, whether it be happy or sad or what have you, angry. It's okay to feel. That's not what we're not saying, just be a robot and a drone and do your business and make money. It's not like that. But you have to have all of those things very measured in terms of where you allocate them.
So it's almost like the business owner has to be willing to be open. They have to open up their mind to listen. Richard,
Exactly.
what are some things that you see initially from the business owners, like the number one thing that you would see that hinders them?
Part of it is the pride and the ego. If you're familiar with Facebook, if you're on Facebook a lot, you see these pictures, like old type pictures with the typing on it, with sayings, things like that.
Yeah.
With memes, yeah. And there was one that I saw a while ago, it kind of pertains to this, and don't be an ask-hole. And what that means is don't keep on asking me the same questions every time I'm helping you. You don't listen to me. You keep coming back. I tell you the same thing, and you're still not listening to me. It gets to a point where you just step away and you say, listen, if you think you know it all, go right ahead.
Good luck.
If you're going to fail, don't take me with you. I'm here trying to help.
You guys, you mentioned Facebook, and to touch on social media, do you think Facebook has made it worse or better for ego? I can see it going both ways, because Facebook's also given everyone a platform where they can put whatever they want out there, and if it's all about them, me. So what's your guys' take on how social media has taken that?
Well, I feel that social media has created another reality for quite a few people in terms of them portraying who they think they are in their mind, and thinking that portrayal is what everyone else is going to accept. Just like any business or brand, you can be very measured and calculated with what you present to the public, but the fact of the matter is everyone is going to formulate their own opinion about what you're presenting. So I think that having social media in the way that some people use or abuse it, it leads down the road of, okay, I'm portraying myself as XYZ, but maybe these people are seeing ABC. I'm not trying to even look at their perspective. I'm just doing what I'm doing. And a lot of brands, a lot of people, you'll see tweets where someone will tweet who's affiliated with a huge company, and they'll tweet something that, they get under hot water for. And it's like, you have to understand that you're an extension of that. Just because you're on social media in your own realm, it doesn't mean that eyes aren't looking. It doesn't mean that people are going to formulate their own opinions, because it's going to happen. So, I don't... There's definitely positives and negatives of social media, but it has created a completely different realm outside of the reality.
The Matrix.
People. Yeah.
How about you, Richard?
You
what
can
do you
be
think?
who you want to be.
I actually posted something on Facebook today. It kind of works out perfectly. Did you see the thing on that I posted on Facebook?
Tell us about it.
Yeah. The thing about social media, first of all, is we've all become a little narcissist. Mm-hmm. Okay, we all want our Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame. And you can get it in social media.
Right.
But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Just because Kim Kardashian puts out a sex tape doesn't mean that you should to get attention for yourself.
Right.
I put something on Facebook this morning, actually. I was speaking with a business associate of mine who's pretty big in Las Vegas. And I told him that because of my hectic schedule, I don't go to seminars anymore unless I'm booked as a speaker. I just don't have time anymore because I'm helping too many people, let alone running my own businesses. And he said, well, if you get a vendor booth here, you'll get a bunch of visibility even though you're not on stage. I go, I could take a video of my privates and put that on the internet, but that doesn't mean I should do that. Just because you can do that doesn't mean you should do this. Mm-hmm. And you have to understand that you are a brand. Whether you realize it or not, you are a brand. And you may make missteps online, and everybody does in social media. Definitely. I'm not perfect. You're not. Nobody's perfect. No. And you can recover from that as long as you apologize. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to be this person over here in business and this person over here in your personal life, and the two don't mix, maybe you need different profiles or something like that. But eventually people are going to find out that, you may be a big professional and really successful in business, but in your personal life, you're a racist schmuck. Yeah. And nobody's going to want to deal with you like that. And people do business with who they like. Right. It's the likability factor. If people don't like you, they're not going to want to talk to you. Though you are going to have your crowd. If people that are very sarcastic online are going to hang around people that are very sarcastic online. Mm-hmm. It's just like when we were in high school. Everybody has their cliques. Yeah. Social media is no different. This is their 15 minutes of fame. The question is, are you authentic? Are you real?
Right.
Sometimes, You may not even know. You may be 50, 60 years old and still don't know who you are. Peel the layers of the onion together, find out exactly who you are, and build off of that. Just be yourself.
Right.
Don't be somebody you're not. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Just be yourself.
Authenticity. It seems to always go back to that.
Exactly.
And being yourself, don't necessarily be vulgar. If you are vulgar in your own personal life, if you do have a brand, you have to curb some of those things, of course. But at the end of the day, most people are going to see through smoke and mirrors. They're just going to see if what you say online jives with what you do in videos and all of that stuff too. So,
and that actually might hurt you for jobs nowadays.
Absolutely,
people want to look at your Facebook. They want to look at your tweets, and if you're this and that, bleepity bleep, who's going to want to hire somebody like that?
It's so competitive as it is, so they'll just throw you right out. Right?
Yeah, and even either religious stuff or political stuff. If you put your views out there, which you shouldn't do, but if you do, you're going to alienate 50% of the people. So why would you do that? If you're trying to get business, why would you alienate 50% of your prospects because you're spouting off your views on this or that?
Right.
Keep it to yourself.
So keep the personal here, keep the business here. Don't try to intertwine the two. And Marcus, I'll start with you. If you guys could give just maybe a couple tips for business owners out there, whether it has to do with pride, ego, or just how they're presenting themselves to the public. Marcus, I know you have a system, a chart rather.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that when it comes to making a business decision?
Well, I have a chart that basically outlines how to make quick, emotionless, effective, efficient decisions. And basically what it does is, you're posed with the question or task or what have you. Does it make you happy? Yes, do it. Does it not make you happy? No, get rid of it. Will it make you money? Yes, do it. Can you finish it on your own? If not, you find someone, you outsource, or you find somebody who has more knowledge than you in a given task, and then you complete it. But it's pretty much just very simple, right down to the point of, is this going to make me money? Is this going to make me happy? Is this going to further my brand? If it does not fall within those three things, then you just simply eliminate it.
Move on to the next one.
And I personally have done that in the last, I would say, 2 years fairly effectively. I would say probably in the last 6 months I've been doing that a lot better, really thinking about, is this good for brand? Is this good for me personally? Because one thing that I want to say, too, that people don't realize is that your brand, your business, it is you. You obviously have a personal, very... you're emotional and everything outside of the business world, of course, and you don't want to get rid of that. But you have to understand that your task is trying to get the most amount of people in terms of the demographic and then bringing in the most amount of business. You're not trying to alienate people. You're not necessarily being generic, but you're giving the best of yourself. And not necessarily the personal or the bad or the iffy and whatnot. So
right, absolutely. Richard, do you have any similar blueprints that you use when it comes to making a business decision? Things that you go through?
Me develop a blueprint. Gee, you think? What Marcus says is 100% true. But I also believe that you also have to show your humanity in social media. If you're having a bad day or this or that, or you're having problems with a relationship, or your car broke down, or you're just gonna be real. People don't want you to be, I am a business robot and this is what I am in social media. It doesn't work that way. People want to deal with people that they like, the likability factor. I have blueprints, and one of the first questions I ask a business owner, especially in social media, because social media really can shape a business owner nowadays,
absolutely,
is what is your exit strategy for your business?
Very true.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? I go, are you looking to sell your business? Are you looking to go public? Are you looking to sell it to a private person? Are you looking to just gift it to one of your family members? Are you just going to run it into the ground just because you need money? All this stuff is taking an effect with social media because your value for your business can go up dramatically if your visibility is good and the message is on point.
Exactly.
So when you look at your exit strategy, if you're doing this is why you bring in professionals, because they'll help shape your message. Because you may think you're doing everything haphazard, flying by the seat of my pants. I mentioned in an earlier segment, well, how do you build a house? Well, let's just put a board over there. Well, how do you want it? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. Right. But there has to be a blueprint, and it all starts with your exit strategy. What do you want to accomplish with your business? And then we go from there.
And that reminded me of two quotes that come from you that I've really taken to heart is, can't build a skyscraper without first building the foundation first. And then also, why reinvent the wheel when you can change the tire? So I see how that all kind of relates. And with the whole exit strategy, a lot of people don't think that coming in. They just are in the moment or whatever. But you lay that out from the beginning, and then it's easier to, because you guys are both really good at systems, to follow a system and get better results.
Well, if you look at your business, many people think of their business as like a property, like a skyscraper, but they want to build a skyscraper on the foundation of a house. Right. And they wonder why everything comes tumbling down. You need to have a solid foundation. That's what you're talking about, Mark, is just a solid foundation. You need to have that. You can build a solid foundation in social media. You can literally reinvent yourself within a few weeks. I mean, a very short period of time in social media. So even if things aren't going good now, it can all be fixed. Yeah. It can all be fixed.
Always progress, always get
You're
better.
Evolving as a business. And, bring in somebody to help you evolve. If you don't know how to do this, I talk about in my late system, access specialized knowledge. If you don't know how to do it, find somebody who does.
Right.
Let them do it for you. You can't be the master of everything.
And that kind of ties back into the whole pride and the ego, making sure that you can look at those things and say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me ask this person who is obviously a leader and authority in this. Let them do it. You might take a smaller cut or percentage or what have you, but your brand and your business is going to grow exponentially.
And you'll make money.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, do you want 100% of really nothing or a smaller percent of something that's really massive? I mean, it's not brain surgery, but that's when you get in the whole pride and the ego, and people think they know their business better than everybody else. And I hear a problem from a business owner, whether it be marketing or social media or whatever the case may be, and it's like, well, you don't understand our business. Our business is different. No, it's not. It's like every other business. Right. I mean, granted, the color's different and this and that's different, but business is business.
It is.
It's basic. It's not brain surgery. I'm Polish and I'm a male. If I can figure this stuff out, anybody can, man. Come on, really?
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Where can the people find you? So if they want to hire you for their business, they can do so. Where can they find you?
Well, you can find me, Marcus M. Offutt. You can type me into Google. Most of my articles and blogs and different things like that will pop up. You can also visit me at businessgrowthanddevelopmentservices.com.
Richard?
And by the way, since I'm Polish, I can actually say that.
Otherwise, just to make it clear.
Just to make it clear,
to be clear.
He is Polish.
Let me make myself perfectly clear.
Krawczyk.
You can find me Twitter. Yeah, again, I take everything so seriously. Sorry, guys. I should really be a stuffed shirt here.
Right.
Find me on Twitter at the Mr. Blueprint, MR Blueprint, the Mr. Blueprint. And you can find me on my blog, my website, www.themrblueprint.com.
Awesome. Everyone go check them out. Thank you so much for being on the show today. This is the Las Vegas Social Media Show. You can check us out, LasVegasSocialMediaShow.com.
Thanks
Until
for
next
having us.
time. Thanks.